agency is adequately funded. This judge you arrested in Wisconsin, she was breaking federal law, wasn't she?
Yes, that's why we arrested her.
She was helping an illegal immigrant escape being taken into custody. Is that right?
Yes, and the field agents decided to open the case, work the case.
And as Americans, do we get to pick and choose which laws we want to follow?
We do not.
If you're a state court judge, do you get to decide you don't want to follow federal law?
No.
And if you violate federal law, you get arrested, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
That's called equal treatment under the law, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
You remember Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. I think Ms. Page worked for Justice. The Inspector General found in its investigation that they hated President Trump and they really wanted Secretary Clinton to win. Is that true?
That's correct, sir.
And this would be the same same Ms. Page who sent an email to Mr. Strzok with whom she was having an affair. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Mr. Strzok with the FBI, senior official at the FBI replied, quote, no, he won't. We'll stop it. Did I read that correctly?
You did, Senator.
Okay. Now, Ms. Page got quit before she could get fired. Mr. Strzok was fired. And predictably, they filed a lawsuit because in Washington, it's easier to divorce your spouse than it is to fire a federal employee. Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 to settle a lawsuit?
Senator, I do not know that settlement was reached in the prior administration.
Who made the decision?
The prior Department of Justice.
Who in the prior Department of Justice?
The settlement for that kind of case can only come from the Attorney General, which would be Attorney General Merrick Garland.
So the Attorney General decided to give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 after they were fired after actively interfering in the 2016 election. Is that right?
My understanding is that was a settlement they agreed to.
Pass me the sick bucket, please. The Hunter Biden laptop. In October of 2016, shortly before the election, the New York Post wrote a story that was widely covered talking about Mr. Hunter Biden's influence peddling scheme based on his laptop. A couple of weeks later, Secretary of State, soon to be Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, organized a group of 51 so-called intelligence experts. Had some real rock stars on the list. Jim Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, and they said, oh, no, the story in the New York Post is not true. It's based on Russian disinformation. You remember that?
I do, Senator, as the lead investigator for Russiagate for the House Intel Committee.
Yeah. The FBI had the laptop for 10 months, hadn't they?
They did, Senator.
So the FBI knew right before the election that it wasn't Russian disinformation, didn't they?
And that was confirmed by the Inspector General's report.
Yeah. Who at the FBI refused to let the FBI tell the American people the truth?
I don't have that name in front of me, sir.
Well, would you look?
I will, sir.
I'd like to know. I'd like a name, not a division. I'd like the name. Person with a brain and a beating heart.
Yes, sir.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Kash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant for production of the public, such as CSAM.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Reid.
Thank you very
Welcome back to Crossline Politics. Before we get into this breakdown, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest political analyses. In this hearing, Senator John Kennedy cuts straight through the noise, demanding accountability from the FBI on issues that have been ignored for far too long. He questions why a state judge who helped an undocumented immigrant evade federal custody wasn't held to the same legal standards as everyone else, reminding us that equal treatment under the law should apply to every American, no exceptions. Senator Kennedy then presses the FBI Director on the Peter Strzok and Lisa Page scandal, highlighting how political bias inside federal agencies can threaten public trust. Kennedy pushes for answers on why taxpayers ended up paying out massive settlements to two officials who were fired for conduct that compromised the integrity of a presidential election. As a patriotic American, I believe he's right to demand clarity. Government workers should be held accountable just like anyone else. Kennedy also calls out the mishandling of the Hunter Biden laptop story, pointing out that the FBI had the device for months yet said nothing, while former intelligence officials publicly dismissed the story as misinformation. That kind of silence can mislead the public, and Kennedy is right to ask for the names of those responsible. Finally, he confronts the unresolved transparency around Jeffrey Epstein's death. His demand for full disclosure is exactly what Americans deserve. A functioning democracy requires truth, not secrecy. Senator Kennedy's questions reflect what many Americans feel, that government agencies must be transparent, unbiased, and accountable. As a good patriot, I believe pressing for the truth is not an attack on institutions, it's a defense of them. Thanks for watching Crossline Politics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more straightforward political breakdowns.